Thank you so much, Peter. As we said earlier on that we live from Alexandra, what I can show you at this current moment, driving into this area about 2 hours ago, it is relatively calm. It is business as usual. People are going on with their daily activities. There is really nothing happening. All that we can see now is the rubble on the roads. One can actually see that there's been a protest in each and every corner of this area, as I'll ask our camera person to zoom in into some of the activities currently taking place. So what is set to happen now is there is a meeting organized by all the councillors in Alexandra. The meeting is about to take place in a short moment from now. But let me just bring in our SABC News reporter, Mahaketla Motlabe, who's been in conversation with the organizers of the march and also the councillors, just to get a clearer perspective as to what we can expect from now going on. And later on, we'll also have the Department of Local Government in Gauteng. They will tell us about the concerns really that the residents have raised and how they plan to go about addressing those issues. Mahaketla, good afternoon. Thank you so much. Driving into the area about 2 hours ago, we saw really it is business as usual. There isn't really much happening at this current point.
Absolutely. In fact, we've just seen learners, for example. You can see that they've just returned from their respective schools. Unlike yesterday, when we heard, of course, from our colleagues, Mangoba Mkunu, as well as Hazina Gori, even today, saying that some of the learners are seen going to school. And you can see, even now, they are just being picked up by their vans to their various places. But at this stage, it just, as you mentioned, that the councillors are going to be holding a meeting. And what they are telling me is that in this meeting, they're going to clarify some of these issues that were emerging out of this particular protest, including their participation in this protest. And what they're saying is that they did not organize this particular protest. There are organizers that actually arranged this particular protest. So in other ways, they're distancing themselves from organizing this particular protest. On the other side, of course, they are saying that they are still furious for the fact that the mayor failed to come onto the ground to address them. And what actually exacerbates the situation is that apparently the mayor went to address them through a local radio station, and that's what they are saying, that they are against. So we will get clarity in this particular meeting, and in this meeting, of course, we expect these councillors as well as the organizers of this particular protest.
Talking about the organizers, Mahaketla, I know you had a conversation with one of the organizers of the march when we got here and when we realized and noticed that there isn't really any activities happening. So what's the reason now? Why has the march been called off?
Of course, as one of the organizers indicated, and of course he did mention that early this morning to say that he wants this particular protest to stop for now, because learners are being frustrated, are being affected rather in terms of their studies. And we know that yesterday at London Road as well, it was very close. And of course, London Road, we know, is next to the Central Johannesburg College, where we know that a lot of students are attending there. So we saw a lot of students, of course, not able to attend their studies. So he actually mentioned some of those points to say that we want things to go back to normal. As you saw as well when we drove around, some of the businesses, of course, they've opened, and of course since this morning they've been operating. So those are some of the points that he really mentioned. And another thing he mentioned is the issue of security. Apparently some security have been hired to stop this particular protesters, and what he says is that he doesn't want to see any shed of blood, and of course some of these protesters being shotted with rubber bullets, as we saw yesterday. Some, of course, sustaining injuries during that particular protest.
All right, Mahaketla, will release you for now. Go attend that meeting and we'll chat to you a little later on. Our SABC News reporter, Mahaketla Motlabe, who will be monitoring the meeting taking place inside the community center right here on my far left, where the councillors are meeting with the organizers of this march. So we must indicate that early this morning we also extended our invitation to the office of the mayor. We were told that there is a mayoral committee meeting that's currently taking place until after 5:30, so they can cannot make it. But we'll also have some political parties here on the location to really look into these matters. But most importantly, the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in Gauteng will talk to them about the issues around service delivery, which forms the main part of the concerns of the residents of Alexandra. But for now, Peter, I'll throw it back to you in studio. As soon as we have our guests here with us, we'll be able to take this discussion further.
Palesa, thanks very much indeed. That's Palesa on the ground there in Alexandra, just north of Johannesburg.